Hey guys, we're up to 8C, which is graphs of frequency tables. So a couple of lessons ago, we went through a few different frequency tables, but if you don't remember, we're going to have a look at it right now anyway. Now, if we were in class, this is what I was going to get us to do. So I was going to get a tally of the number of siblings that we have, or each of us have in the class, and we were going to make ourselves a frequency table so that the data we had was actually from ourselves. But instead of that, I'm just going to give you the data because it's a little bit hard when we're doing it online. All right, so let's have a look at this example. I'm going to ask you a few questions that's pretty much just revision from the other lessons, but then we're going to get into the new thing, which is drawing graphs of frequency tables. Okay. All right, so below is a tally of the number of siblings that students from a Year 8 class have. Can we see that this shows that that a student would have 0 siblings? This would show that they have 1, that they have 2, that they have 3, etc. Okay, so we've got a tally here. We looked at tallies the other day, but we don't necessarily want a tally right now. We want the frequency. Okay, so we need to convert these tallies into numbers. So we can see that we have 2 students that have 0 siblings. So I can put a 2 in there. We have, looks like 7 students that have 1 sibling. Looks like we have 8 students that have 2 siblings. We have 3 students that have 3 siblings. We have 3 students that have 4 siblings. 1 student that has 5. And another student that has 6. There we go. So we've got our frequency table. So we can see the frequency of 0 siblings is 2. The frequency of 3 siblings is 3. The frequency of 5 siblings is 1. Okay. Now let's have a look at a couple of questions down here about what we've done so far. What is the most common number of siblings? I can see that we've got 2 people with 0 siblings, but we want the most common. We've got 7 people with 1. We've got 8 people with 2. I can't see any more frequent than 8. So the most common number of siblings would be 2 siblings. And that occurs 8 times. Alright, how many students in this class have more than 3 siblings? More than 3. So that would mean 4, 5, or 6. So we've got 3 that have 4, 1 that has 5, and another one that has 6. So we have a total of 3 plus 1 plus 1, which is 5 students that have more than 3 siblings. There we go, we've answered that one. Next question. How many students are there in this class? How many students are there in this class? Well, we have 2 students that have 0. We've got 2 students that have 1. We've got 8 students that have 2. So can we see that if we add all these ones up here, this is going to give us our total amount of students. Okay, so we have 2 plus 7, that's 9. Plus 8 is 17. Plus 3 is 20. Plus 3 is 23. Plus 1 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. So there's 25 students in this class, which is similar to you guys. I think you have 26. Alright, now the next one, this is the new stuff. Draw a graph of the frequency table. And I've put down here in bold, we must take note of the scale because we want to make sure we have enough room to fit all the information in. Alright, so I'm firstly going to set up my axis here. Okay, now I'll put a little arrow there and a little arrow there. I want to say what each of these axes actually represent. Okay, so this bottom one here is going to be the number of siblings that people have. So number of siblings. And that included 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, if we remember. So let's say this can be 0, this can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. But we needed to work out the frequency of each of those number of siblings. So let's look up here. Let's see our different frequencies. We had a frequency of 2, that's low. We've got an even lower one, which is 1, and our highest is 8. So we need to make sure on our axis it goes up to 8. So let me go up here. Alright, 8's going to be our highest, which means halfway is about there, which is 4. Half of that is 2. So that means this one's going to be 6. Okay, so that will be 1. That will be 3, 5, 7. See how we've got all the way up to 8 now? Alright, now we just need to put our columns in here, because we are doing a column graph. I should have really said that before. Alright, so I might be going up and down here because we need to make sure we check. And I should have put the frequency up here as well, so I need to make sure I show you that that's frequency. There we go. Now, I want to find out the frequency of 0 siblings. Let's look up here. 0 siblings, our frequency is 2. Okay, for 0 siblings, our frequency is 2. There we go. Can you see I put a little column there on 0? Showing that our frequency is 2. The next one, we want to find the frequency of 1. The frequency of 1 sibling was 7. Okay, so let's go down here. 1 sibling, frequency of 7, which is around here. There we go. So we've done that one too. We just need to keep doing the same for the rest of them. So let's go to number of siblings 2, and the frequency is 8. Number of siblings 2, and the frequency is 8. There we go. And we're just going to keep going. So 3 was 3, and 4 was 3 as well. There we go. We need 5 and 6, and they both had a frequency of 1. There we go. So we now can see the same information from this graph here came from the table above. So if I look at this, I can see that the frequency of 0 siblings was 2. The frequency of 4 siblings was 3. Okay, so your job is going to be to change a few tables into some graphs, and let me know if you guys need a hand when you have a go at those questions. See ya.